Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love is Blind Season 10, Episode 3. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We pick up with Jordan and Amber's reveal, and homegirl looks like she wants to run.
Come here. Oh, you're gorgeous. My hands are shaking. Damn. You're absolutely beautiful. I'm so lucky.
I am too.
This man is shaking like a leaf, and I don't blame him because he was already concerned that he wasn't going to be her type. But as soon as he saw her, he was like, man, I really lucked out. She is gorgeous. She's stunning. She's all these beautiful things. She is noticeably not as talkative. Not at all. She hugs him and says that he's handsome, but the body language and that plastered smile, I'm like, sister, it's not giving attracted. I also noticed that he was the one who kept pulling her in for kisses, unless I missed it. That's what I observed. And I'm thinking it could be nerves, but it could also be the fact that she's really uncomfortable and she just doesn't know how to break it to him. Yeah, girl, it doesn't give, I like this man. It just doesn't. We then meet Britney and D.Vo. And I gotta say, D.Vo, whoever took your pictures did you so dirty, because this man looks way better looking in motion.
I know it's still like early, but I am feeling stuff. What's one thing you noticed about me?
Voice is a little nerdy. Listen, I'm a nerd when it comes to labor and delivery, like seeing vaginas all day long, seeing babies come out.
What else do you nerd out about?
Electric slide, I am 100% out there.
This guy's gonna do the worm down the aisle.
Like, oh dear God. It's gonna depend on where he decides to do the worm. Right. Do you, baby? Like, isn't that your husband? I'm like, huh? I don't know who that is. Got me confused with that other lady over there.
Oh, you're funny.
D.Vo must really like this girl because anything she said, he do. Oh, I'm like, oh my gosh, you like her. Everything was just so funny to him. Everything was so funny, and I'm like, okay, this is cute. It's like he has little butterflies or something. I like it. I like this couple. I don't think that there was anything wrong in their date. He spoke about how important marriage and family is to him, and actually, production had to pull him aside because unfortunately, while he was in the process, his grandfather did pass away. He did decide to stay. I think he said that this is what grandpa would have wanted for him. All right. And then he tells her, this is proof, like him staying is proof that this is very important to him. I'm on the fence about how I feel about him saying that. Because on the one hand, I'm sure you mean that, like, oh, if I'm staying instead of going and being with my family while we're supposed to be in mourning, that means that this is important to me. But also, this could be a persuasion tactic. Like, look at what I'm doing for you. Look at what I'm giving up in order to be in here with you. Like, you better pick me. I don't know. I'm not yet sure on which side of the fence I fall on, but I'm on the fence. Ashley and Alex have a dinner date, and my perspective of Alex is shifting just a little bit, only a little bit.
I really locked in on soccer, and that became, my identity growing up. So I had 4 knee surgeries at the wrong time. Sitting on a couch in North Carolina, my leg in a cast. I was supposed to be a top 5 pick, best friends on the team. He got drafted, I think it was 13th or 14th overall. The loneliest part was, because he was in LA, the entire team want to go to the field and just play. Shows you like those were supposed to be my boys, and for them to kind of leave before my name's called, it's like, oh, we're not really that close.
The reason why my impression of Alex has changed is because I thought in this conversation it was just gonna be like reminiscent on the glory days, right? But I actually do appreciate him speaking about the loneliness he experienced because these men don't want to admit that they are lonely and look at the reasons why they might feel lonely. So I appreciate that he spoke about that. I also like that he alluded to those feelings of jealousy because, oh my gosh, you guys, there was one service we had at my church, and we were talking about how emotions manifest in men and women. And the guys in our church were just so convinced they don't experience jealousy. They don't have these moments of feeling emotional and whatever. And I'm just like, you're dumb. Because how are you guys under the illusion that you don't experience adverse emotions. Be so for real. So the fact that Alex is able to admit, yeah, being left out made me feel a little bit jealous. Being left out made me feel lonely and all. Like, I really appreciated that. That's some good introspection that a lot of men these days just don't do. They aren't introspective. The issue that I have, though, is I still don't feel like we've seen conversations that speak to their compatibility as a couple. And then what makes it worse is Love is Blind does what they love to do with the couples that we should not really be focusing on. They do the montage thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. I do feel like the shoe was going to drop with these two, and now I'm convinced. He proposes, she says yes. I can't really buy into the relationship because we barely got to see it. Kevin, I'm still not sure. I feel like it's just Kevin, but I like saying all three. He is in the men's quarters, and he's like, I don't understand why Tyler thought that I was making a decision. And yeah, I don't think that he was being definitive in that conversation, but you were being mixy. Yeah? That ambiguity would not work for me either. So in the women's quarters, Tyler, oh no. So Tyler is crying to the women. She's like, I never want to experience that ever again. This is horrible. I'm going to leave. She leaves. She storms off. The way that Kia doesn't give a damn.
Know what the fuck I'm worth, and I'm not dealing with that shit.
Yes.
We'll see you in Ohio. I'm going to make the decision for you, so I'm going to leave. That's a good man.
A lot of time left on it.
If I go back in that pod, I'm just going to be silent.
Let's not play the victim game here.
The way I had to sit up, I had to sit up because I was like, hold on. Kia, you being a little bit messy, but also production, you being real messy. Oh! And I'm glad they showed that because production really be nudging, really be nudging you on the side. And we got to see that. I loved that. So Tyler decides to go back into the pods. She apologizes for storming off. He's now putting his soft, I'm just so confused. I don't know what to do. And she's buying it hook, line, and sinker. My poor girl. The dumpster people are outside. So sorry, guys. So she says to him, I'm going to need time where it's just the two of us if I'm going to be sure about the decision to marry you. I'm not going to allow myself to be an option up until the end. That doesn't work for me. I also need to be a girlfriend before I become a fiance, before I become a wife. Come on now, you better lay down the rules. Love that. Now, can you stand on business? I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure. So yeah, he's like, I have a lot to think about. Fine. She accepts that. She goes back into the women's quarters. And again, Kia doesn't give a damn.
Tyler.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to bombard you like that. It's okay. It happened. That was kind of fucked up. It's okay. Girl. Yeah.
She's not being mean, but you can tell she's like, okay. I don't know. It just tickles me. Bree, she feels like she's on build a boo workshop. Sister, make a decision, okay? She feels like Chris has certain characteristics that she likes and Connor has other characteristics that she likes. And if she could just mold the two, that would be her perfect man. Well, no. Make a decision.
I'm connecting with them for different reasons. When am I gonna find someone that does everything?
I know.
Am I really gonna get the whole package?
I know.
Connor has been from the start my number one. It was like an electric connection from the beginning. He's a slow burn, and something that I really love about Chris, he would be a partner for me that would challenge me.
Bree points out that Connor is a slow burn, which we know. Emma called it out, and it's even evident when you see him on these dates, right? At this point, if this man is taking so long to open up, I would have to divest. I have to put my time in somebody else, somebody who's being more intentional, somebody who's being more vulnerable. That's a tricky one when it comes to Chris, but that would be my stance personally. So then they decide to talk more about like family and stuff. He talks about his mom, some story about his mom, I don't quite remember. But again, I'm missing the vulnerability from him. I'm missing, not that he's not being vulnerable by telling the story, but I don't know how that relates to him as a person. He didn't even say, and because of this, I now show up in life in this kind of way. Just opening up about his personal characteristics, we don't get to see that. She might be seeing that, we don't get to see that. Yes, he did get emotional talking about his mom, but like, I don't know anything more about Connor that proves to me that he and Brie are compatible. On her date with Chris, he talks about really just having eyes for her right now, and he is talking about the characteristics he wants in a wife, or the characteristics that he thinks that she could exhibit as a wife, and how he would be able to support her as a husband, the things that he could add into their relationship. And I literally said, ow, I just bit my tongue. I literally said, I hope this isn't malarkey, because he seems a hell of a lot more intentional than Connor. Yikes. At this point, she says she's looking for safety and security. Based on the conversation she just had with Chris, I would have given that to him. But either way, I don't think it's coming from Connor, from what we've seen. So if it means choosing nobody, then fine. But if you had to choose, I would choose Chris over Connor. I surely would. Then Chris lets us know that he has a strong connection with Jessica. I'm like, okay. What he likes about Jessica is that she is more emotionally available. He's a little like, I don't know if he's worried, but it is on his mind that she is significantly older than him. I think it's like 6 years. So he's like, okay, well, that's different for me. Brie is younger, but she's not as emotionally available. So at this point, he's just trying to see who fits him when it comes to that vulnerability part of things.
There are like two big hurdles. Finding somebody, figuring out if the two of you can get to that next step together. See that possibility with one person, and that's you.
I've only had one number one. It's Jess. Like, I was like, it's literally Jess.
See, Chris, now you're confusing me, because I swear he just made it seem like Brie was his top pick, but now he's like, no, Jessica is my top pick. And she's happy to hear that, because she's like, my fear was that you were going to have other connections, and I didn't want to sway you in any way by me being vulnerable, but I'm just a vulnerable person. I wanted to let you in, and clearly it worked in her favor. This man is then going to go and say, I feel like my other connection is as if I'm hanging out with one of the bros. No, I have no words. He then tells Jessica that she would be an amazing mom, even though they both have actually come to the conclusion that they are okay if they never become parents. That's something that doesn't really bother them too much. So yeah, it was just nice for her to hear that from him. She got emotional. And at this point, I was like, I don't understand what's going on with Chris, because it seems like he's still on the fence. But as he's talking to Jessica, I'm like, oh, so you are sold on Jessica, right? Right? Okay. He doesn't decide to make the decision. It is Brie who actually makes the decision, because she has one more date with Connor. And on that date, they decide that they are going to stick with each other, right? So she goes into the date with Chris and says, honestly, I think I've made my decision. I don't want to keep doing the whole back and forth thing. I'm going to focus on Connor. He's like, oh, great, because I came to tell you that I'm going to focus on Jessica. Actually, I thought of this last night. So why didn't you come say something early? Why didn't you? I feel like he's only saying that because she said it first, but anyways, they're like, oh, so happy for you. This is so exciting. Yay. I love this for one another. Then the reveal of the episode is between Alex and Ashley. They both are trying to make it seem like the physical is no longer important to them, but we know that it is.
Based off of her heart, I have a good idea as to what she may look like. While the physical is necessary, it's become secondary.
The looks will just be the last part of the puzzle.
How we doing?
Hi.
You're beautiful.
Hi. Oh my God.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
If Ashley wasn't, physically gorgeous, it wouldn't have mattered to me as much.
Wow. Yeah.
It is good that these two find each other attractive. It is good that these two are, they seem to have physical chemistry. That's great. And no, my spirit still refuses to take to Alex. Don't know why. I just can't. There's something about him that makes me feel uneasy. And then he keeps referring to danger. Like, oh, this is dangerous. This connection is going to put us in trouble. Like, and I might be reaching. Y'all know I love to reach. But this just feels alarming to me. Yeah, more on that later as I keep on watching the season. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.